Hello, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today. This is part 2 of a question and answer video I do every Monday. This is also Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day on June 1st. This has been going on for a few years. And in part 1, if you missed it, try to go watch it. But in part 1, I was recommending to all of you, if this has affected you somehow in your life and you want to do something about it, be proactive, do something about it. Try to support maybe somebody else that does stuff, or find a way to do it for yourself. I recommended following or supporting something called Shane's Law Petition. Shane was somebody who committed suicide because of a nasty narcissistic smear campaign, and somebody started a petition, which is great, to stop people from these kind of public attacks. That's one thing you guys can do. Follow the link down below in the description box and just support it. Say yes, it'd be great. It's gotten a lot of traction. I don't know how, or if it's just because of me recommending it every week or two, but it has. It's grown. So if you could do something about it today, that'd be great, just to help spread awareness so it could save more lives. Right? So yeah, everyone, please ask questions and I'll answer them next Monday. Okay, go down in the comment section, ask me anything you want. I'll answer it next Monday. Let's get started right away with the first question of part 2. Hello, Alicia from Canada. Hello. Love, love, love your channel. It has helped me become stronger. Awesome. Thanks for telling me. Good. Good to hear. Question. Whenever I used to speak to my ex about anything that was bothering me, my feelings, etc., or speak about anything of importance, he would lay down on the couch and cover himself up with a blanket. If not his whole body, definitely his face. When I'd ask him questions, he wouldn't answer or take a very long time to respond. If I asked him to please sit up and stop hiding so we could try and have a constructive conversation, he would always very reluctant. Sometimes he would, but he'd lay his head back on the couch and close his eyes while conversing with me. He had a very hard time giving me eye contact while talking, and if he was facing me, he always has closed eyes. What is this about? Well, so many things, right? I mean, let's just first of all, let's just say rude. It's rude. It's disrespectful, and you never take that, okay? Do you value respect? To respect people, do you? Then you must demand it. Don't compromise yourself that way. Never let anybody treat you that way. That's crazy. No one wants to look at you and talk to you, give you stop talking. Stop talking to them. Sit there and talk back at someone's head and stuff like that. Rude. Doesn't care about respect. He doesn't care about who people are, okay? You are expressing yourself and he doesn't care. He doesn't care about who you are. He cares about what you are. You started talking about things in here. You started talking about things that, like how you feel, about what you want, about who you are, what you value, right? I don't care. I don't care. He's an avoidant person. He's avoidant. He attached to you. He doesn't care anymore. He pushes you away. Anything emotional gets too close. Doesn't like it. Can't be vulnerable. Not interested in it. Never has before his whole life. Been severely neglected and never talked about things like that ever, ever, ever. All brand new to him. He's might be socially inept. I mean, how well does he talk about anything else, right? This is the one thing he doesn't care about at all, especially when it's other people. He's a narcissist. If he is, he's a narcissist, right? And he doesn't care about who you are. He doesn't know who he is inside. Everything is ego, and same with everybody else. You are a source. He's exploitative, and you are a source of what he wants or needs. That's it. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Don't let people treat you that way. And everyone's been awesome about locations. Please tell us your locations, guys. You want to ask a question, tell us where you're at. Thanks. And I don't know who this person is, but the name is Din Clouden, 26. David, please talk again about fear. I'm 1 year no contact, but I'm still suffering. I can't overcome fear. When I think of that monster will appear again in my life. And I told you that was a perfect way to ask it. He's now a monster, right? So it's not fear, it's phobia, isn't it? We must start learning to process our emotion, fear especially. Emotions don't go away. We don't process them, they stay open. That's why there's an asshole that walks around angry as hell, and you ask him what you're so angry about, and he'll tell you nothing, and he means it. He forgot. It was 27 years ago. Someone pissed him off, and he's still mad. it's still open. I'm not kidding. That's the biggest one we lose the source of, anger, because we're not allowed to express it. Fear. Fear, we ignore it, it gets bigger, doesn't it? It follows us around. It gets huge. David, I'm so scared. Why? What? Scared of what? Next week? God damn, you're scared of the whole week? What next week? Tuesday, I got this exam or something. I got to go to court. What are you scared of? You eventually will get down to probably nothing or something so small. But they don't want to think about it. We don't express emotion. We don't process it. So I feel fear, instantly ignore it. Anything negative, and it's sad, fear, anxiety, I'm going to ignore. I'm going to take a pill. I'm going to drink. Right? I'm going to suppress. I'm going to numb. I'm going to run away. I'm going to play video games all day. Online gaming. And then that fear becomes monster-sized. Your guys' ex, you've monster-sized them. When you stop seeing them after a while, they're a big, bad, evil, devil, alien, monster, Godzilla. And then it's funny, you guys will like run into them and it'll be scary, but usually they're not so bad after that. Like, oh, they weren't a monster. Our brains do that. Our brains do that. Memory is like, real quick, memory. Here's an event that happens. And then some time goes by and we think about it, right? We think about that event. And we could even change it in our mind with our attitude, our perception, who we were before this, who we are now, right? And we say, because honestly, what is, you know, as time usually goes on, people start telling you what happened wasn't so bad, was it? After it happened, it was horrible. It took time, right? And we keep thinking about it. So you think about it, and now it's really bad, okay? And maybe you didn't process that emotion. You left that open again, right? And you just said, it's so bad, I can't think about it. I'm going to ignore it, okay? Now, this is the experience. Next time you think about it, you aren't thinking about the experience right when it happened. You're thinking about the last time you thought about it. And the last time you thought about it, it was big, it was bad, it was scary. I couldn't even think about it anymore. So now every time it comes in your head, like, I'm going to ignore it. Don't think about that. Don't think about that. Don't think about it. It's so bad. It's so bad. And it just grows to a big bad monster. Talk to people. Talk to people about everything that happened so you'll understand it. So you totally understand that this person is not a monster. People aren't monsters. And I'm not in any way trying to reduce your suffering, your pain, how bad this person is. Get help, talk about it, and heal. Understand. Thanks. Our lad, don't know where you're from. Do you go to therapy yourself? It seems to me that all Americans do. No, come on. All Americans go to therapy? That'd be amazing. That'd be great. What's wrong with that? I don't mean to be bad when I say that, and I know you're not. But it seems that everything seems to be a problem in some shape or form. And it isn't that in itself a means of control to have everything the way you want life and people to be? Well, I may not understand the second part of your question very much, but I'm a big proponent of, talking, therapy, coaching, counseling, stuff like this. And I would look at a country that does that more often than the rest of the countries or the rest of the world as healthy. Okay? And I would look at other countries that don't do that as unhealthier. Because problems are human, not regional. Life is just solving one problem after another, navigating, right, until we die. We all make mistakes and we forgive each other, forgive others. But I think of it as like dentistry, right? Dentistry. If America has, and I don't know who has the most dentistry, but imagine if America, percentage-wise maybe, per person, has the most dentistry, does that mean they have the worst teeth? And then another country that has the least amount of dentistry done, does that mean they have the best teeth? Or is Americans just doing it more? And other countries aren't getting it done more? You know what I mean? I don't know if everybody needs a therapist, but everybody needs a coach of some kind. We all, every single person needs help sometime in our life, okay? And like I said before, life's about making mistakes, but some are very big, and some we pay for the rest of our lives. Some we don't make our way out of. And some are repetitive and we don't learn. And we need someone there to help us. Yeah, I truly believe everyone can benefit from something like that. I hope that answered your question. If not, please ask again. Thanks. Chris from Romania. Hello, Chris. I work with an ex-narcissist. 2 years after breakup, he still turns around. If we meet on a corridor, avoiding me in a very obvious way, even if we never changed a word since then. It amuses me. It looks really childish. Why does he act like that? Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I love this question. Because anytime you say a narcissist, their behavior looks really childish, I mean, that's what they are. They're emotional children. They never finish developing. Okay? Trauma halted their development. Or their parents never helped them develop into an adult, normal adult. Okay? So they're very immature. Very immature. This is awesome though. So when people ask me what's going on and what people are thinking and all that, why does he act like that? I'm not claiming I know, ever. How could I possibly know? That'd be crazy. I can't tell the future. I can't get in your head. I don't know. But it sure is interesting. And he's never healed from you. He's never healed from that relationship. Poor self-esteem, right? Christine? Poor self-esteem. Doesn't have the balls to talk to you. Didn't have any kind of emotional language with his family growing up. Maybe very socially inept. Can't talk about emotions. Maybe very judgmental. Judges himself. Very ashamed of himself for what he's done. Doesn't want to talk about that or address that at all. Maybe he feels vulnerable that you know him there at work. And that's the worst feeling in the world for them. That you may expose him to the rest of the crew, tell everyone how bad he is, he's a narcissist, stuff like this. Does that make sense? Like I said, I'm not claiming, but that stuff's obvious. That kind of stuff. Thanks. Maria from Canada. Hello, Maria. Why is it that they take off and tell you that they never want anything to do with you? Then show up 4 years later acting like nothing happened. I ignored him. Sicko. Well, 4 years later, geez. Man, how about 4 minutes? That sounds more like them. 4 years? Well, I mean, I don't know. But it's funny. Take away the 4 years, you're describing impulsivity, and that might be what he did. Impulsively said that and didn't want to or mean to in the beginning. Right when he told you, when he took off and said he's never wanted anything to do with you again, that was probably impulsive of him. But he doesn't value, if he's a narcissist, he doesn't value you, Maria, in the inside anyways. Right? So, you know, outside is all he cares about, and that just gets boring and old after a while, no matter who you are. Doesn't matter. Most beautiful person in the world. Not so much after a while. But the showing back up 4 years later, acting like nothing happened, well, his shame won't allow him to acknowledge what he's done wrong, or that he said that. He can't even apologize. Can't be vulnerable, right? So he just wants to slip right back in your life 4 years later and he never said goodbye. What does he act like, hey, you know, like we just broke up nicely or something. We just stopped talking one day. Yeah, all you got to do is bring that stuff up. And you shouldn't be talking to them anymore, but just hold them accountable and you'll get rid of them. And you better hold people like that accountable. Well, I don't think you should talk to them, but you got to hold them accountable in some way if you're going to talk to them. You don't just act like nothing happened like them. We don't do that. Don't compromise who you are. Thanks, Maria. And that is actually all the questions for the Q&A. If you could, please watch part 1. If you could, please go down below and support Shane's Law petition. I recommended something in part 1 too. I'll put it down in the bottom here, and it was a acupuncture mat, which helps with all kinds of stuff, from just being happier, less anxiety, releasing oxytocin, helping you trust the world more, eliminating other massive amounts of pain that you might have, daily pain, chronic pain. That's it, guys. Thank you. Oh, and it's Narcissistic Awareness, Abuse Awareness Day. Try to do something in support of that, something active. That'd be great. Thank you. Always love yourself first, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.